This review is made possible by the Restored Rusty Relics Car Club of North New Jersey. If you're in the New Jersey or New York area, please check them out and consider joining the club. They do monthly events, meetings, and have formed a community around these awesome vintage cars. What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 1980 Chevy Malibu. Up front is a 7.4 liter V8, and down below is a 3-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Malibu for two reasons. First of all, this is what's known as a G-body in GM. So a lot of vehicles were built off this platform, like the Monte Carlo, the Grand Prix, the Cutlass Supreme, and of course, the famous Buick Grand National. But today we're driving the Malibu, and quite a special modified one at that. So I am very excited to share this with you today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zachpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 454 big block under the hood. I always say liters in my videos just to keep some continuity and for comparison purposes, but this is known as the 454, and this was not the original engine offered in this Malibu. That would be quite insane. The original engine was actually a 3.8 liter V6, if you can believe that. The owner says that this car makes around 500-ish horsepower, and it ran a 10.9 at the drag strip last time it was out. So it does have some pretty honking numbers to push behind it, and that engine is the crown jewel of what makes this particular drag Malibu so special. Now, unfortunately, here today, I'm in urban New Jersey, and I'm not going to be pushing the limits of the car, but it is such a beast to even just be driving around town. I mean, you feel like you have the might of Zeus underneath your right foot, and at any second, you can just let it out. If you do want to see me ripping on a 454 big block, I do have an 85 Monte Carlo video that I'll leave at the end of this one. Like I said, paired to it is a 3-speed automatic. It's a turbo 400, and it is aggressive. It is a 3-speed, and it punches you in the back of the butt anytime it wants to shift. Although it is on point, it keeps that power down to the ground, and that's what we love to see. Last but not least, of course, the Malibu is rear-wheel drive, sending it out to those fat rear tires. So how does it feel to drive the Malibu with a 454 big block? Well, actually, in a very surprising manner, although the rear gearing has been changed to a more streetable setup, it's actually very, very calm and collected. It's one thing to let this thing fly at a drag strip and hit a 10.9, but it's another thing to then drive it here in a neighborhood. Look at this, look at this. A Mazda CX-30 and a freaking Bentley Bentayga. RAV4, Honda Fit, Jeep, all white for some reason. I'm in a normal neighborhood, maybe not the Bentayga, but I'm in a normal neighborhood, and I'm driving it in a normal way. It's not anything crazy or outlandish. It's not scary, and I'm talking at a normal voice, which is hard for me to do as it is. I have a very loud personality, but doing so with a big block under the hood, I can talk normally. Here I am, la la la, la 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 la. And I'm talking just like this. That blows my mind. And then if I put my foot into it, I can run a 10.9. I mean, how close to ludicrous speed can one car get? I don't know. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. There's gonna be a lot of modifications here. Well, in front of me, I have the stock speedometer and fuel gauge off to the left. I love how these gauges are laid out. However, this car has an added shift light that is huge, but definitely very important for when out on the drag strip. The steering wheel has been swapped out for a Grant unit for a couple of reasons. First of all, aesthetically, it looks better. It's a lot smaller, which is actually preferred, and a little bit more precise. Off to the left, I have a climate control vent, my wipers and wash, as well as my lights. And moving out of the door, I just have my crank for the window, mirrors, and how to get in and out. That's it. Moving into the center, behind the giant tachometer that is clearly aftermarket, but lovely for a drag car. Behind that, we do have two climate control vents. Then we have some buttons and switches and some added dials as well. And we have our aftermarket radio, because any radio from 1980 isn't going to keep up with modern tech. Moving into the center, you see this giant shifter. This is for the added and beefified, bona fide transmission. So you see this little hook on it, you pull that up to get into reverse, and then you can slam it down into drive, which is a drag style shifter. However, through all of that, there is no cup holder. So unfortunately, but predictably, the 1980 Chevy Malibu fails the big friggin' bottle test. Now, the seats are not Chevy Malibu. These are, can you guess it? I would love for you to leave a comment if you can guess these seats before I say it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, lock in your guess. They are Audi A6 seats from the mid-2000s. The owner is actually an Audi tech and had these at his disposal and said, hey, I'm gonna put those in my Malibu. And so he did, and they're actually quite wonderful. However, this means that you can't easily access the back seats. So unfortunately, I can't give you a backseat review, but here they are. It had little back seats, but I can do a trunk review. So here's the trunk of the Chevy Malibu Classic. Nothing really to write home about, nothing crazy or interesting, but hey, here it is. I hope that you enjoy it. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I love this cherry dark red that this car is painted in. Such a lovely color, and overall, I really like the look of the Malibu. Now, something interesting is I always associate this front end with the El Camino, because there was an El Camino on this chassis too that actually shared a front end. And every time I see this front end, I think of the El Camino. That's not always the case, but something to note is that there were tons of G-bodies, and this is just one of them. I think it looks sleek, and I think it actually looks a lot newer than 1980, although it is dressed up and, of course, has the drags on it and all that stuff. But overall, I think the design could have easily passed for mid to late 80s, even though this was really built in 79. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Chevy Malibu Classic with a 454 big block? Well, it's really, really, really fun, and that's an understatement if there ever was one. The thing that really captures me about this particular one is how normal and how average it is around town. I could drive this to a restaurant, I could drive it to FedEx and send a package. I can do my daily duties while a sleeping monster is waiting under the hood. I can do all of that in a 10-second car. Not only that, the big block fits under the hood. Now, the air cleaner has millimeters before it hits the hood, but it closes, it fits. And honestly, the suspension is very cushy and comfortable. It's relaxed, it's soaking up these bumps, I would say better than some of the other cars I've driven as of recent. It kind of scratches my head. It's like that one coworker or friend that you never see mad. And you're like, surely there's something that makes that guy angry, right? And then that one day he gets angry, and it is full-blown nuclear. There's tears, there's shattered glass, and there's red faces. And that's what this car feels like, because driving it around right now, I would have no flippin' idea that it's capable of what it is. And yet it is capable of what it is. That didn't make sense or help at all. But hopefully you get my point. It is just such a wonderful driving experience. And it's like sleeping with a tiger in the room. It'll probably be okay, but if you bring out a sirloin, good night. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.